thank you for that welcome, but also say it is fantastic to see in the room today so many champions of UK-India relations here, and a real pleasure to be following the High Commissioner. I think all of us, by definition of being here, in this room, sitting here today, are people who want to see and to continue to foster what I think is and can continue to grow to be a deeper, stronger and a more collaborative partnership. I think we have the chance to create so many more opportunities for our two countries, as the Commissioner, I think, rightly just outlined. Our two nations do share a really modern partnership, one that's bound together through profound historical ties, a partnership that works through those bumps that the Commissioner just outlined. And we have stood side by side through two world wars, of course, as well. Over the last century, Indian and British soldiers have fallen on the same battlefields, have successfully defended the causes of freedom and democracy together in unison. Indian soldiers have made a phenomenal contribution, and we owe more to their sacrifices than it's possible to outline in words or express. So there cannot be any more symbolic or appropriate recognition than to mark the centenary of the First World War, the launch of the Cardi Poppy. And I want to thank Lord Guardian for initiating this emblematic and special and appropriate gesture. It is my hope that I will also be able to be in India this year for Remembrance Sunday to pay tribute on behalf of the Conservative Party and indeed the UK government to all those Indian soldiers who gave so much in protecting our core shared democratic values. When you look at those values that we share, values of democracy, responsibility and the rule of law, you realise more and more just how much we all have in common, why ours is a natural and forward-looking partnership. Throughout my time in government, I've seen firsthand how this partnership we have already achieved through it so much. And I had the pleasure of visiting India last year to look at how we can go further in dealing with some of the issues and challenges around making sure that that partnership works and delivers for both our countries, our people and our economies. The United Kingdom is the fourth largest investor in India, investing over $25 billion, something like 7% of all foreign direct investment. And India has continued to be the third largest investor here in the UK, emerging as the second biggest international job creator as well. As rightly outlined, with companies like Tata creating actually now over 110,000 jobs right across Britain through the company and its supply lines into it, many of them therefore in the hugely important for us manufacturing sector. And when it comes to education, the UK-India Education Research Initiative, which will see additional investment of £20 million, creating 50 more partnerships being created by 2021, benefiting both of our countries. And across science and technology sectors, we've seen joint investment in research growing from less than £1 million in just 2008 to over £200 million by 2015. And we are cooperating more closely than before on defence. As the oldest democracy in the world and the largest democracy, we have together been able to forge a path in recent years that has set the foundations from which we can continue to build a strong and successful relationship. And I think when we put our minds to it, it's clear to understand why. It's because we are both outward-looking global nations. And as has already been touched on, as some of you in the room may have become aware, of course in March next year we are leaving the European Union. As a government, we are determined to ensure that Britain is looking outwards across the world, to be open to be able to do trade with more nations more widely and as widely as possible. We are determined to deliver on the vision that our Prime Minister has set out to create and deliver a global Britain. one that is welcoming, outward-looking and free trading, and that plays its part in leadership on the world stage. It is vital to our future shared prosperity that we forge a new role for the United Kingdom outside of the European Union. And I think we do that from the starting point of strong foundations. Apart from our position as a large economy, our spend on defence and NATO in Europe, and our position on the UN Security Council, we, like India, thanks to our culture and institutions, research and development and education and design, are a country that many others around the world are able to look towards and want to do business with. Our standing in the world gives us a chance that we have to capture on in this country to be able to benefit from the opportunities that are there in the years ahead. I think we have our greatest chance of success as a country when we are working with other nations such as India. Nations that have similar values, similar ways of looking at the world. And we have already seen our relationship between India and UK set the standard. We've laid the groundwork for a possible post-Brexit bilateral free trade deal. And we signed off a series of commercial agreements worth up to £1 billion. When you look at our total trade in goods and services, it was some £18 billion in 2017. That's a fantastic 15% increase on just the year before. But we want to do more trade with India, as we do with the rest of the world. But we've seen how difficult that can be within the European Union, and how long the EU can take to deal with trade deals. For example, there is still not trade agreements with India, China, or indeed the United States. And actually some of these have been going on for almost a decade. So we want to be ambitious for the United Kingdom's future relationship with our global partners. One that allows us to go out into the world and strike those free trade deals with countries like India for the mutual benefit of all of our citizens. And here at home, here in Britain, we are home to one of the largest groups of Indians outside of India, with some 1.5 million British Indians, the majority of whom live here in London, the world's greatest city. The diaspora of the United Kingdom are made up of some of the most educated people in our country, and as the High Commissioner just rightly outlined, although they represent just 2% of the entire population, absolutely clearly punch well above their weight at over 6% of our GDP. I cannot possibly overstate just what a fantastic asset Britain's Indians are to our country. A community that works hard, that actually plays a vital role in its communities and prides itself on upholding British values. People who love this country. And together we can build on that history to look forward to a future of opportunity. So that as we go out more globally in the world, as we leave the European Union in this country, we can be looking to collaborate more together. Our partnership is strong, and it's one that is growing and can continue to deepen day by day. Because of those shared values, and because of our common desire to work more closely together on trade, science, defence, education and digital technology. There's never been a better or more important time to make the case for free trade and investment. We have a duty to make that case. We have a duty, I think, to make that happen. Not just to make our countries more prosperous, but to make them more stable and more secure in the future as well. We together can lead the way, and we can do that by working more closely together for the benefit of everybody in our countries. Thank you.